Most people think it's hard to make Hollandaise, but if you can melt butter, you can make this sauce perfectly every single time. No breaking, no stress. I'm Johnny Mac, and this is the Sauce and Gravy channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make Hollandaise sauce perfect every time. It's easy and can be made in a matter of minutes. Round up a high-sided saucepan and drop in 3 egg yolks. This sauce comes together really quick and it's the ultimate sauce for eggs benedict, asparagus, salmon, or brunch at home. Next, drop in 3 tablespoons of water or 45 milliliters. After watching this video, you'll understand why this classic French sauce doesn't have to be intimidating. Constantly whisk everything and turn your burner to low heat. One mistake that a lot of people make is that they turn the heat up too high and they end up scrambling the eggs. What a lot of chefs like to do is touch the bottom of the pan to get a quick temperature check of the pan. If the pan is too hot to the touch, then it needs to be removed from the burner. You could also use a bain-marie to make this, otherwise known as a water bath, by putting a heat-proof bowl on a pot with lightly simmering water. After a few seconds, you can check the bottom of the pan by touching it again. If it's not hot to the touch, you can place the pan right back on low heat. And again, don't stop whisking. The goal at this point for your homemade Hollandaise sauce is for your egg mixture to roughly double in size and to turn pale. And a really good indicator that the eggs are done is that whenever you whisk, you can see trails and see the bottom of the pan really well. And you're not just doing this for fun, there's a reason for this. You're sort of par cooking the eggs and getting them ready to emulsify or hold fat. And for this classic Hollandaise sauce recipe, that fat happens to be clarified butter. For this step of the process of adding the clarified butter, make sure that you take your pan off heat. The total amount of clarified butter that you'll use for this recipe is 1 cup or 226 grams. Add 1 spoonful, whisk until thick, then add another spoonful, whisk until thick, and then after that you can start slowly drizzling in the remaining portion of the clarified butter. If you're interested in learning how to make clarified butter, I'll put a link in the video's description on how to make it. This French mother sauce is a great brunch recipe and a lot of people like to use a blender to make it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you'd like to check out my video on how to make a Hollandaise in a blender, I'll put a link for it in the description as well. In my experience, the only difference between a blender and a traditional Hollandaise sauce recipe is that the blender Hollandaise sauce is a touch bit thicker. Here's a pro tip for you. If your sauce starts to break while you're adding the clarified butter, then your Hollandaise sauce might be too hot. Whisk in half of a tablespoon of cold water and then start the process up again. And at the end of the sauce making process, if your sauce is still split, there's another option. Grab another bowl, add an egg yolk to it, whisk it up, and then slowly drizzle your Hollandaise sauce into it and it should come back together. But let's get back to the recipe. Once the clarified butter has been all whisked in, you can add a pinch of salt and a touch of white pepper. And for a quick reminder, you're still off heat. You really don't want to put this back on heat unless you have to, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Next, you can add your final ingredient, the juice of half of a lemon. Drizzle in a little bit at a time while you're whisking. Here's another quick tip for you. If the sauce is too thin, you can always put it on a burner over low heat really quickly and whisk constantly until it becomes thick. And if the sauce happens to be too thick, you can always dilute it a touch with lemon juice. One thing to be really mindful about is you don't want to put the sauce back on the burner unless you really have to. It might just break and split. With that said, if you're having a brunch and you want to make this ahead of time and keep it warm, preheat a thermos with water, pour the water out, add the Hollandaise, and then you're good to go. It should stay warm a couple of hours in the thermos. So that's it. That's how you make a Hollandaise sauce perfect every time. Thanks for watching the Sauce and Gravy channel. If you found this recipe helpful, be sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and hype it up. Until next time, remember it's just you, me, and the sauces. Keep whisking, y'all.